from the village, the old guy from the village. Okay, so hold on. The mystical land.
Mm-hmm.
There's the aunt, right? And then there's an old guy that's like training everybody. He is
pull up
in
the IMDb while you talk.
He's in a bunch of Stephen Chow movies. He's in Kung Fu Hustle. He's in Shaolin Soccer. Like that's kind of who I was trying to give a shout out to because it was great to see him
Oh, okay.
in an American film.
Yeah. That's dope that they pay
Yeah.
respects like that. Yeah.
Also, I think there was like so I've been reading this where they're in that interaction between that old guy and Tony Leung. He's actually said something where it's more along the lines of like I've had more something about like him being very old. Like I've had more rice than you've had salt.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was like a dope
quote.
translation.
Yeah. Somebody had brought that up too. I think I forgot where I saw that too.
Yeah, I saw
on Twitter or something like that. Yeah, just people talking about, how it translates. A lot of what was said translate into English or all that. Yeah. Yo, fantasy football, man. I'm curious how you did this past week since our last conversation.
Crushed it.
Oh yeah, you won?
I win.
You're 1-1.
Yeah, I'm 1-1. I think the guy that I'm playing, who I'm not gonna say is my boss, but he let's see, he's got one guy playing today, but I'm up by like 40-50 points.
Okay.
So I want to say it's a lock. I'm up by 60 points. So this guy's got to basically hit 63 points for him to win.
That's not going to happen. You're good.
Let's see. Who does he have? He's got the Green Bay tight end. I'm going to go with probably not likely.
Yeah, I think you're good. Let me see what I got going on too this week. Yeah. If I have any more players still playing. No, everybody's in. No. Oh no, he has a player playing. I'm up 7, 9. I'm up 9 points. And he's got Devontae Adams with Green Bay playing.
How many points you're up?
7. And his Devontae's projected to at least get 18. So that could be a loss in that particular league.
Unless he gets injured early, I say he does at least 8 points. That's my over under.
Yeah, so that's one of my leagues, and what my other league? Let me see if I got other players.
What's the expensive league? Let's talk.
My expensive league. All right, so I think I'm gonna be okay in my expensive league. Let's see if he has anybody playing,
because that's what matters, sir.
He has one player playing tonight for Detroit. I'm up 22 points. The player he has projected to play tonight is projected to maybe get 16 points. So by all accounts, I should win in my big money league.
Big money. We only talking about big money now.
188 to 166 is the score right now, and I'm up by 22. So hopefully I'll hold on. I'll be 2-0. But the other league, it looks like I might end up 1-1 if that other player.
Is there any sleepers that you think that we should know about? Like someone you're like, this guy's underrated.
Ooh, that's a good question. Like looking out in the waivers wire, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh man. I had one I was discussing with another fantasy player playing earlier today. Damn it. Oh, that's a great question.
Because I don't watch football like that anymore, where I'm just watching like 30 games a week. Yeah. And I'm having a hard time with the waiver because
I'm upset with the late games that are becoming super good. Like apparently last night's game with Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yep.
Fourth quarter comeback.
Yep.
Fucking Thursday night's game. I forgot who was playing Thursday night, but that was a comeback game.
Yep. Was
and that the Monday Night Football of last week was a comeback game.
Oh my God. I was so afraid.
Comebacks, bro.
Because so the thing that people don't know about Las Vegas is we have a team. That's great, right? And you just think like, there's a team, there's a stadium, there's no parking. That is one of the crazy things. There's no parking, and
Yeah.
it is across the street it's across the freeway from the Delano Hotel. Shout out to the Delano Grape Strike walkout. um, but when a game is in session, when it gets out, it's a clusterfuck.
I
Like,
can imagine. I hate that kind of traffic. Oh,
think of like I can't imagine what RFK would look like after a game.
Fucking hate RFK traffic. That's like I used to go every now and then. Nah,
Yeah.
hate it.
So it's at the very end of the strip. As of now, it's like at the end of the strip. And I can't imagine what it's going to look like in a few years. But right now, they're traffic all the way, every direction. And I got to get to the V Theater on Monday. So Monday is usually my day off, and I go to the V Theater. I open for Edwin San Juan, and he was like, "Hey, can you pick me up? But we got to leave early because if that game gets out, we're fucked."
Does the
Luckily,
hockey team play in the same arena?
It does not. It plays at the
They have two
T-Mobile.
different stadiums now for them.
Do.
Wow.
They do. So they've got the T-Mobile Arena where like the majority of the boxing matches are. UFC's there, and then that's where the Golden Knights play, and that is right in the center of the strip. But there's parking and there's like it makes sense, because a lot of people aren't driving in there; they are on the strip and they're going to go out to the strip, but there really isn't anything walking where the Raiders Stadium is.
Did they make a stadium for the Raiders, or is this an old place?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It looks like Darth Vader's helmet. That's how dope it looks.
Oh, okay.
And that's the first thing you see if you're coming in from LA. And you see the strip and you get there, but like that's like one of the first things you see when you get close. It's intimidating. All black glass.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
But they got to add parking. So that's their problem. They made a cool stadium, but not enough parking.
Yeah, there's no parking. There's no way in or out. Like,
is there a way they can add, or do they have to like kick people out of their homes? Like, is there area around it to build a parking place? Or are people just fucked?
Let me start this conversation with, I'm not a civil engineer. I've never been a civil engineer. In all of the lives and all of the multiverses existence, I don't think I've ever been
we're the wrong Asians for that. We're the wrong Asians.
I'm going to go with, if they could have, they would have.
Yeah.
That only seems to make sense. Because where they are, it doesn't look like there's like residential and it's pretty tight. So I don't know how or why this was such an oversight, but I'm assuming it wasn't an oversight. I'm assuming there's like, well, this is the best we can do. Maybe that's me being so hopeful. I just assume everyone's good at their jobs and they're just like, well, this is the best we can do. We tried, I don't think it's an oversight. So, what I do want to see, I think at some point, I'm just going to rent a room on Sunday at the Delano Hotel so I can overlook the street that people have to walk on and just watch all the Raider fans just so sad.
They got to figure something out in the future, dude. Like,
they got to. I mean, it's almost as bad as Wrigley. It's almost as bad as Fenway. LA is pretty bad because you got to go up on top of the ravine and go up there, but at least there's a parking lot. Like, there's not a lot of parking there. So anyways, I literally have to look at what's going on at Allegiant Stadium before I even think about heading in that direction, because you could easily be fucked and not know it.
Wow. Ugh.
So we were lucky. We were lucky that not only was it a late game, the game went late, it went into overtime, but I think that it's going to be a snafu. It's going to be ugly.
So you're happy with a win this week? You feel better like going forward? You're trying to figure out like what to do. Like I'm trying to. So I'm thinking about letting loose some players now.
Who?
And that's what's the thing that in regards to the who, it's gonna hurt. Brandon Ayuk was one of our best rookies for San Fran. If y'all don't know, my team is the Niners. So I obviously had to scoop up some of my Niners players for my fantasy squad. Ayuk is, I think there's problems with him and the coach with Kyle. I think there's some beef there because he was killing it last year. Now they're not like looking, they're not giving him any looks. I was talking to another friend. I think he suggested that there's personal problems going on, and he, tracks on football 24/7. I'm not that deep, but so I'm hoping things work out. But like, yeah, he's not producing, and I've got to, I'm playing the long game here. Got to make sure I have the right players, pick up some players that are available, because I'm trying to win this pocket, this money. So I might have to lose him. Another one of my players, man, if you watch the Philly Niners game, they try to kill my guy. First time he, playing first snap he ever had in professional football. He's one of our rookies. I'm fucking up the name. I think it's, I'm not even gonna say it because I'm gonna fuck up the name. But first snap, and he about gets decapitated. And I had to call Glenn because Glenn's the Eagles fan. Yeah. And my team was playing his team. And like, man, why'd you try to kill my boy? First snap ever in an NFL game, and y'all try to kill him. But yeah, I might lose him because I think he might be out. I haven't heard the recap, but he had some head issues that they're talking about. And then another player we lost. Just players ain't playing a part, and it hurts when it's when it's players that are a team that you're a fan of. And but I gotta get that money. I gotta look around and see what's available, and I have to let them go.
It is a business.
It's gonna hurt with Ayuk though, because I was a huge fan when he blew it up for us last year.
I mean, if he's not making the if he doesn't make the roster, he doesn't make the roster.
Yeah.
The question I ask is if he goes to another team
and kills it, right?
I don't think we're
gonna let him go on the Niners. I just don't think he's gonna be very productive right now this year, or I don't know. Man, it hurts because he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get over drafting to the teams I want to watch. So I know in my heart of hearts, the Patriots, like, you'll have a guy that'll go 30 points one game, and then like you're not even sure if he even played because he had 0 points the next week. But that's my team. That's my team. And not that I want to have them be on my team because of the Patriots, but it prompts me to. It's like, hey, I'm going to watch this game anyways. I should probably watch players that are on my team. So my drafting is pretty horrific. And then my decisions are pretty horrific as well. Like I have Kelsey as a tight end. And somehow Gronkowski dropped to like the, 6th round or something. And I picked him up. Okay. And I was like, okay, what? He did okay last year. Yeah. Let me just. It was an emotional draft, and then I was like, well, I already have Kelsey, so unless he goes injured, why would I need 2 tight ends?
Yeah.
So
I would have, if I had Kelsey, amazing. You don't have to worry about him. So right. You could throw in a Gronk if he on an off week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or you could just cut Gronk. And then he goes for freaking 4 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
And that's what he did?
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns week 1. He had 2 touchdowns this past weekend. And I cut him. I cut him week 1. I cut him before he even played. I was like, I don't need I got to shore up my running back,
Oh. So you don't have a backup tight end later on for when
but Kelsey's... I was just gonna pick one up at some point.
You'll get him off the waiver wire. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get somebody.
It's just one of those things where you go, well, he didn't do well last year. He had I think he has more touchdowns this year than he does all of last year. I'm surprised
you did it already at the gate though. Like I at least this is the week I start. Like week 2, week 3 is when I okay. I probably will actively switch people out next week. But but week 2 is when because if you want to get cutting edge, beat everybody else out. You need to start, getting knowledgeable, looking at players that are available. But week 1, man, you pick who you pick. Have faith in who you pick. I'm kind of surprised you.
It was an emotional one. Yeah, it was because statistically last year, if you look at his stats, you go, he fits the position and he might get you some points, but it's not like he's not a starter by any stretch of the imagination. Mm-hmm. And I picked him and I was like, oh, that's because it's emotional. Like Gronkowski, Tom Brady, like he's probably going to get a couple touchdowns, but not not Travis Kelce points.
Yeah, true.
And I'm wrong. Wrong.
You should have stayed with your gut.
You're right.
Waited, because you picked who you picked. But I feel with you. I feel you. You second guess yourself.
And I'm only watching, like, I'm trying to get out of the habit of like just watching the Patriots play. Now it's like, okay, let me watch the Patriots. Let me watch Tampa, because I'm like a former lover where I'm just scorned and I just want them to do well. I'll just in the wings, looking from afar. But now it's like, okay, let me watch the Monday night game. Let me watch, I'm trying to broaden my horizons.
I got you.
Because I don't want to be the every game guy. I watched every game for like 7 seasons straight. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm like an occasional, although I've been upset. I love nail biters down to the wire, fourth quarter type. Like when I watched my game the other day, which is, I should have watched the entire game, because when do I get to watch a West Coast team on the East Coast? You know what I'm saying? And we lucked out with 49ers playing the Eagles, but I didn't tune in until third quarter because we had to run some errands and stuff like that. And I was shocked to see that it was 7-3 in the third quarter. I'm like, what the hell? I texted
I saw
Glenn.
that.
Glenn was like, yeah, he was like, yo, it's a defensive battle, brother. I'm like, all right. So,
which is not what either team is known for.
Exactly. Well, no, Niners got a D, man. We got some D. We got D.
Okay.
All up in your face.
Hey now.
But nah, man, it was we won in the end. Glenn was a little salty when we started record a review later, because I had my jersey on, I had the hat, I had the whole gear on. But hey, man, we go hard for our teams, and so yeah. So
that's good. I mean, a win is a win, right? The Patriots won this week, so now they're 1-1. The Niners are 1-1 now.
No, we're 2-0 because we beat
2-0.
Eagles. Yeah, so 2-0. We're on the up, so we'll see if that happens, man. Continue to move forward. We got some players that are hurt, so I'm curious what we're gonna do here and there, but I'm very optimistic, man. I'm staying positive. I'm positivity.
I'm very curious how injuries will play in a 17-game season. Like, I'm very curious about that. I don't know.
So besides football, man, what else is going on in your world, brother?
I want to know. Actually, I'm curious. You posted a picture of a 7-Eleven cup of Shang-Chi, and you didn't buy it. I'm so proud of you. I'm just curious.
Let me tell you, my wife was, a little bit surprised too. So Saturday. She didn't really have any plans. The last time I had been to that store was for Free Comic Book Day, and there was this VHS tape that classic, the old 1960s Marvel animated series from the 60s. Which for fans, they took like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's artwork from the comic books and essentially animated it. And I had every tape. I had the Amazing Spider-Man one, the Incredible Hulk one, and the Iron Man one. The only one I was missing was Captain America.
Like the actual, or like you recorded it?
No, the actual clamp. You know what? Hold on 1 second. I'll throw it up. All right. So these clamshells. The original VHS, classics.
Yeah.
From it was they had a 60s on TV. They took the comic books and they essentially animated the 60s stuff that we loved and turned it into a cartoon series that was on Saturday mornings. And so Amazing Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk was another one, and Invincible Iron Man. These were the 3 that I had already in its clamshell.
That's amazing.
The one that I was missing was Captain America, which I picked up this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the lone one that I was missing. I didn't pick it up that last time I was there because I thought I had already had it. And coming back from that, I noticed obviously I didn't have it. So it's been on my mind to go back to that store, pick it up, to complete my set, to watch it again because it's classic. I still have a VCR in my studio in here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Right by, and then you got the classic. I
have my classic station here with the 8-bit, 16-bit, because you can't obviously watch VHSs on your flat screens and everything. So I have a special area right here to watch this stuff. And so, I wanted to check it out because it's been so long, because they haven't digitized these VHSs to other formats so you can watch it. So the only way to see it is in these classic styles, bro. So it would behoove Marvel. I don't know why. It would be an instant moneymaker. Like, I would buy this in digital format to see this again, but I am not aware of it being translated yet. So,
How much did that cost you?
So anyway,
how much did that VHS cost?
It was only $9.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
Exactly. Right. When I bought these originally, the other ones, they were $24.99.
So, like, how much can you sell the complete set?
I have not looked into it, but I would probably hold on to them because I have my classic station here.
Gotcha.
So that way I can at least see them, because again, it hasn't been translated into a DVD, Blu-ray, or digital format to watch. So the only way I can see these, is through classic VHS. And I'm a Marvel stan. I love this stuff. So I want to be able to have that nostalgic play. But if they do translate it, like I told you, brother, I'm ready to get a lot of this stuff out. So I wouldn't mind, and I'm sure I could get a pretty penny, because now it's a complete set. You know what I'm saying? You can't find these.
Have you thought about what you're going to do in the backdrop when you sell all that stuff?
I have original artwork, a ton of original artwork that I partially want to sell that as well. When I used to publish comic books, I have the original artwork to a lot of the comic books that I published. I have artwork from the artist that I was managing that was doing work at Marvel, DC, Tokyo Pop, Dark Horse. I have portfolios of original artwork from the talent that I managed and from my actual books that I wrote and published. So I more than likely, I'm going to keep the stuff that I did, that is my own creations. I'll probably put a lot of that up along the top. There are 11 by 17 pages. I need to get them all framed up.
That's dope.
But then there's certain stuff like I have I didn't realize, I totally completely forgot. I have some Shang-Chi stuff, and I think if you follow me, I picked up recently some colorist art from the colorists.
Yes. Which is so dope. Like
that
I think
artwork.
Yeah, I kind of didn't realize like that's how that back end of the industry goes. Like as far as like graphic design, it makes perfect sense, because the graphic design, you do that where it's like, oh, here are the color palettes, this is the color, and then you point to the thing, but just to be able to see it both in analog, and that's kind of, I'm sure that's where the industry had got it from. I think that's so dope.
Yeah, it's one of a kind, bro. Like, so it's also an investment. You know what I'm saying? All these original one of a kind pages.
When you say it's an investment, that just makes me think that it's a lot of money.
I spent a pretty amount of change on certain things, the recent color work you saw. Yep. That was almost $300 right there.
Well, that's not bad.
Exactly.
That's not bad at all.
And it was I purchased it before the film came out, because I know, as a collector, as fans of this medium, the popularity is going to soar, and it's going to raise up those prices.
Because you could easily turn out and sell it for triple now. Like,
definitely. Yeah, exactly. That's why I got it.
Right.
For down the road, but I also want it, for myself and as a fan. But what I didn't realize, bro, which again, I have too much shit, right? There's the regular 616 Marvel universe, right? That the characters that we know and love exist in. But then there was do you remember the Ultimate line? There was Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, which was a line when around the late 90s, early 2000s, when they got Brian Michael Bendis, one of the most amazing writers that worked at Marvel. They kind of essentially brought him on to create like a updated version of the Marvel U and take some of their characters and all that. So we had Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Avengers, or actually not Ultimate Avengers, but the Ultimates. And then we had Ultimate X-Men. During that time frame, they updated, some other ancillary characters, one of them being Shang-Chi.
Interesting.
And they had a line of comics called Ultimate Team Up.
Yeah, it's the red costume where actually he's wearing a shirt, right? And it's red.
Well, that's in some of the other newer, but that's 616.
Oh, that's 616. Okay.
But in the Ultimate Marvel, he was just normal looking. They didn't do much. I think I don't recall them many other appearances outside of the Ultimate Marvel Team Up that they did. I'd have to check. You can probably check now. But the particular issue of Ultimate Marvel Team Up where he made his first appearance,
you have it.
I have the so it's 24 pages, right? But the very first page where you actually see Shang-Chi, I have that page. So his first introduction page, full body shot, Shang-Chi outside sweeping, and he trips up this bad guy who's passing by the shop. But I have that page. I forgot who's the artist on it.
The original, like when you say the original work.
The original artwork. Yep, I have that page. I didn't even realize I had it, which is how ridiculous in that I have too much shit. That just tells you I have too much shit. But yeah, I own that page. So
you have stuff that you don't even know you had. Like when you saw it,
that I had it. Yeah.
But when you saw it, were you like, oh yeah, I remember that I have it now? Or were you like, what is this?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself being like, I don't know what is this? What does anyone know what this is? Do you have anything like that in your collect, or do you find yourself not sure where you got stuff?
Not that I bought certain things. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
You're just trying to fill a void, and we are going to fill that void with money.
I know, bro. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for myself, to be honest with you. I just know I've been very fortunate in working in areas that I love, working with artists, collaborating with other artists, and again, like you pick something up at a show, but then you get caught up because then there's show after show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's that intake and that gets forgotten because then you get a whole bunch of other shit. So it just, like I said, it manifests. Where we were talking last episode, I had a subscription at a comic book shop. They knew the titles that I would want, and I would just pick it up. But then, because I was so busy, those stack of comics go straight into a long box, and then it's already the following week, and then the following week, and they got never looked at. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So I'm sure there's titles and first appearance of characters that are just sitting on this other side, which you're aware of, right? Of bruh. Yeah. And then right before Black Panther premiered, I already knew I had two copies of the first appearance of Black Panther, Fantastic Four, issue 52 or 53. I already had that. And then when the film was getting ready to drop, I was like, yo, I already had, my copy and then like want to sell, but let me snag up another couple of copies because, hey, I have a feeling this is going to be worth something. And I bought like 5 or 6 other copies. And now, like you talked about in one of the earlier Kuya and the Kids, how much Black Panther 52, 53 is worth now. And I have like 7 or 8 copies of that bitch.
Fantastic Four 50. Fantastic Four 53.
That might be it. Yeah, it's one of those. First appearance of the Black Panther.
52. Yep. Hold on. I see it. Let's go with eBay.
Yep, issue 52. Yeah, and
$2,000.
53 as well. Yeah,
$2,000.
Yeah,
and that it's a 5. So it's beat to shit basically,
and it's worth $2,000.
And they're asking, $2,000 for it.
Yeah,
and it's coming from Virginia. Is that you? Is that your daughter already putting stuff online?
So yeah, and I have 53, which is the issue right after his second appearance. So, bro, like Pat's to me myself, going back for the investment purposes. So
I mean,
it's just now though it's all stuck in boxes that I got to pull and actually make that sale now. So it's not worth anything until it's sold, right?
Are you going to grade any of them? Spend the money and grade some?
I think with certain books like that, Ebony was saying, I should. Because that's the only way I'll get the real investment that projected investment that most people see like you're looking at, right?
Because I think that all of your stuff is going to be more than a 5, right? So, but you're going to get less than ungraded. You're going to get less than, right?
Exactly. So I got to put that in. I got to invest into that expenditure to get the.
Well, let's see. You got to take care of your kids' schooling. You got to take care of a car and your mortgage, and then Kuya P Studios. Here we go.
That's the eventual plan, to be honest. Like, so I can, with what we're doing, what we're moving forward with NRW, where I'm moving forward as an actor, filmmaker, like the money's there. Well, actually, to me, that's in the backup. I would take care of family, house, my daughter's education. No, that's number one. I wanted to take care of her schooling and everything. Yeah.
When she graduates high school and goes to college, are you planning on like downsizing? Because you only have one kid, and I'm curious.
I hadn't thought about that too much. I hadn't thought about that.
No. Your wife just sent me all these questions, all these hard-hitting questions. I'm just reading off the questions.
we never really talked about that. But what's funny is I hope to be making even more money, and that I have I plan to keep this Virginia. I've never thought about selling this home. I've only thought about actually adding homes, to be honest with you. Like, I want to have a place in LA because I'm hoping the filmmaking, everything I'm doing, I need a place to go there when I travel, hopefully there for business and making films. So I want an East Coast home and a West Coast home. I've only thought about adding instead of subtracting, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Downsizing.
I mean, I don't want to get into your personal business, but it's like you look at the house and you go, oh, the kid goes to college, and you go,
I want to add a pool. That shit. If there's anything, I'm trying to add shit. Oh, you didn't see my early post earlier in the year with the pandemic happening? Yeah, because I love going to the pool, but we're living in pandemic times. Ain't no way I'm going to the pool with these nasty ass people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's nasty. So like, I've been seriously. I actually have if you go back on my IG, bro, one of the pool quotes that I got, they did a whole animatic to it.
Oh, that does actually sound familiar. I do, but this was so long ago. Yeah. I forget everything.
It's all good, brother. But like, that blew me away. I'm like, I gotta have this pool, because I also have like a hot tub as a part of that projected piece as well. They're gonna have to recut my backyard. They're gonna have to come in there and level things out a little bit.
You're gonna need to get a vasectomy. You might set back the clock again. Not 18 years.
The quote starts at like 60 grand for that.
Pools are not cheap.
They're not cheap, bro. Windows. Let me tell you. Speaking on grown man shit, something that actually happened that my wife and I have been doing the last month or so. We've been getting Windows quotes because we have the original Windows that the builder did. So it's time to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? We just dropped the change on that, and we just had we agreed to it like a week or two back. And
talk to me about Windows before you go further. I'm curious, like insulation, more power. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the window buying market. So what do you
got to upgrade your windows. If you have original builder grade windows, those don't last too long. They're not meant, to last. Throughout, a couple of decades. I think my house is, I'm going to mess up if I give dates, but it's time. You know what I'm saying?
So when you're looking for windows, are you looking for like the heat repellent, or are you looking for the sound resistant? Like, what is it?
All of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You want the winter time because you lose a lot of your heat, everything during the winter. So you want good windows to keep in that insulation and all of that. With builder grade, it's not the best.
Gotcha.
And then, especially also during the summertime, keeping that the UV rays out. So there's proper coatings on better windows, professional grade windows. That blocks that out, and so you're not spending too much on AC cooling of the house because it's blocking out. So it's all of that comes into that mix, and it's not cheap either, brother. It's about 60 grand for all the windows we needed. I have 29 windows, 29, and those are various sizes and shapes. I have large bay windows, as you've been to the house, but a total of 29 windows, which is about $60,000, or at least one of the quotes was. So, that's about how much I spent recently on the windows. We just had the measurements done today, literally today, and in the next month or so, they'll come in to upgrade our windows.
So I guess the question I ask is, at $60,000, like, how many comics is that? How many comics do you need to sell to pay that?
Well, if we're saying, that's quite a few more Black Panthers. I have about 7. You said that's about $2 grand. That's 14 grand. So I need about 28.
Okay, that's a good start.
Black Panthers. I don't
Listen,
know.
I'm just, I'm not your financial advisor, but I will. You're sitting on a gold mine, both literally and metaphorically. I think, yeah, like I would be excited to start to see like in the back with a figure where you have your action figures, like every week a couple of them just kind of disappeared because you sold them. Like that's what I would like to see,
bro. I'm hoping, and just for you, brother, just for you, man, because I want to. Like, oh, speaking of, I was at the store this past week, right? The comic shop this week where I got the tape, which again, going back to that, which was the only thing I purchased. Young me would have been like, what? That's the only thing you picked up? I definitely saw stuff I liked, but I was like, where the fuck am I gonna put that at? I don't need it. I don't need it. A lot of the comic books that I saw that I would want to read, I'll get it on digital. Or I don't need a purchase on digital. I have the connections. I could be like, yo, can I get that PDF? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Look a brother up. What's good? I'll do a review. There you go.
That's dope.
So I don't need to purchase that hard copy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can get it, legitimately. So, but going back to that though, when I was at the superstore that I was at, it's one of the biggest comic book stores in the area, man. It's amazing. It was a former Kmart that's now a fucking comic book store. They have aisles of old school shit. It's amazing. Toys, video games. It's absolutely amazing. It's the biggest comic shop you'll ever see.
Wow.
It's called Gateway Comics and Toys. Shout out to my bud Ed. He actually runs the place. And he's also the one, Patrick. I've been watching. He watches up my shows. He's probably gonna watch this one right now. He's like, yo, bring me your stuff, man. I got you. So in regards to the consignment thing that we discussed earlier during our weekly show, he's like, we can get that popping. So, and I trust Ed. I trust you. It's just, there's that.
But you got trust issues. But you have trust issues.
I have trust issues.
And I think, I think I kind of touched on it before. You just go, okay, well, let me go grade the ones I need to get graded, and here's a bunch of the stuff. Let's see what we can sell. And I don't want to say, I don't know what the term is, but like in baseball cards, like, hey, here's some of my common cards. Not to give them garbage, but it's like, let's start here. Let's start with the basic stuff.
Yeah, I'm with that. And that's what I'm gonna build towards, is pull the money type ones, and then probably figure out sets with the rest of it. Like as complete sets.
Yeah.
And then there you go. And then any ancillary additional ones, boom, that can easily be sold,
Right.
But one thing that was glaring though, again, back to the comic book shop, a lot of these ones you see up here, the bulk of the like ones that look like is full-size comic book size, those joints were at like $30 a pop.
Ooh.
Selling at his shop. And some that are like the more rare ones were at like $80 a pop. I'm like, these can go, because I'm ready to clear this wall out, like I said, to put up original artwork. So like all of that can go, and like some of the other single figure ones.
Yep.
Those again were like, worth a lot more than what I spent on it. I got it when it was first, out there, retail. So like I could earn that's probably about $1,000 just right there in figures.
Yep.
Straight up.
Yep.
So it's like, it's time to get this money, bro. It's time to get this money. It's time to sell this stuff and get it out. So I can.
Your current you has to thank past you for all of the things that your past you has done for you today.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like I wasted money. Well, yeah, and you see, I think that's grown of me to just say just now. Wasting that money, although it has turned into an investment, but like, because I could have done other stuff with that money, and like I bought all this stuff. You
could have been buying cameras and
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I'm selling it, so, and my wife was like, and that's what she was like, what you bought this, but then you didn't really, and now you're selling, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but in order to get that investment, you now got to sell it. And when are you going to sell the shit? Because now it's just standing there. It's sitting there.
Yep.
So it's like,
it's a great backdrop.
I'd rather have had the experience, I guess, in a way, looking back at it. I didn't think of it as investment. I just bought it because I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was half thinking investment. Now it is completely an investment, but it's not really an investment unless you sell it.
So what so what you do is see how your door's open right now?
Yeah, there's much more behind that door.
Yeah, you sell everything that you can't see. You got to take that off. You go, okay, let's start there. Sell those ones. And anything you can't see, you got to start selling. Yeah. But that's
it's crazy, right? It's crazy.
And again, you support your local comic book stores by giving them money. Now you can support them by giving them money that's not coming out of your pocket. They go, here, sell it. Here's a commission. Call it a day, you know?
Got you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, though.
I'm working towards this, brother. Your spirit, even though when I'm not seeing you, is with me, and I thank you, brother. Like it's what I'm trying to do, and I'm steadily working towards it.
Clear like a spot on your desk, and whenever you find something like, oh, I didn't know I had that goes right there on the desk, and it gets sold right then and there. Just like because you didn't know you had it, you're not gonna remember you'll remember it when you sold it.
I'm half thinking with also this artwork, bro, because again, there's quite a bit of change with a lot of that stuff. Because I have portfolios of original artwork that are one of a kind from various comic books. I used to have Walking Dead covers, dude. And I don't know if I ever told you, I did sell one of them right at the start of it blasting off, as you know, everybody falling in love with The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. I had spent, I think, like $50, $75 on that cover originally, and sold it for almost $3,000.
Ooh, exactly. That's when you go, hey, what else do you want, sir? what else would you like?
Right. So I know it's like I'm mad at myself.
I guess my question
happy with myself because there's money to be made. It's just I gotta fucking do the work to make that money now.
Is that what the holdup is? The motivation to get it done?
Yeah.
Money doesn't motivate you.
It does motivate me. It's just fucking time because I'm also trying to do all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I think if you can figure in the next, I don't know, week or so, couple weeks, figure out like a cadence and like an assembly line, and just have your daughter go, okay, you know, take these pictures and just jot down the name of it or whatever, and just put it in an Excel file and just start doing that little by little, pay her, you know, for a couple hours of work. Mm-hmm. That will, I mean, whatever you need to get about
that. Talking about like money isn't a motivator. That's my fucking daughter. She's me. She's a carbon copy of me. Like Madison, you know, I'm gonna give you money. You know, help me and mommy. Me and mommy are down here bagging. I'll throw up on an anime just to get her down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's still not driving her.
Huh.
Yeah.
What does she ask for? She asked for like, well, if you come down here a couple hours.
Because you know what? And it's my own fault. Because she knows anything daddy wants, anything she wants, daddy's going to give it to her. Baby girl, bro. She knows I'm going to get it for her.
Hey,
it don't matter.
If you look at her finger, there's just you wrapped around.
And I know it. I you know, bro, I know it. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, enjoy. Okay, before we move on to the next topic, just enjoy the process. Figure out, make it an enjoyable thing. And if you ever run out of content to make, which you probably never will, documenting and talking about it, like that wouldn't be a horrible thing to watch.
I was thinking I should start doing that too, especially because I haven't fucking done anything with the TikTok, but like real collector shit type talk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and just like, hey, look at, you know, got this. And then that could get people intrigued. Oh shit, he's got that available. You know what I'm saying? And and they might just, hey, Patrick, I know you're trying to sell it. Can I make you an offer?
Yeah. You know, put a long box on a table and you're recording it, right? And you go, because this could be how many comics in a long box? About
200. 300.
Okay. So let's say 200, right? You go one, you know, a long box one, part one. And then you just put it down. You're like, hey, and then you pull the first comic out and you go, oh, I remember this. That's one TikTok. Pull the next one out. And you got 200, 300.
Exactly. And that's what I should do. Straight up. Now
it take you about 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You don't have to show your face. Just be like, you know, just do the voiceover. I don't know. Comic books are cool, and I am so jealous that that love for comics got beaten out of me at a young age. I just
Yeah.
the only comic that I actually own, it's somewhere. The only
What was the
comic I
first
own,
comic book you ever read?
Uncanny X-Men. It
Uncanny. Was it a Jim Lee, a Mark Silvestri?
was a Jim Lee.
John Byrne, Jim Lee. That's a lot of people's gateway. Jim Lee.
And I think the only comic that I own is the comic that I got from the Black Panther premiere in that gift bag.
Oh wow,
that's the only one that I own.
Currently own.
Well,
okay.
I guess,
or maybe not. You got rid of it since then.
Currently, yeah. Sorry, it's somewhere. I have it somewhere, but that's the only comic book in my possession.
Gotcha.
I did buy my wife the graphic novels for Tresse.
Yeah.
I think the American or the newer versions, only 2 of them are out.
Yep.
So I got her both. But
shout out to Budget Tana and Kaji Bellissimo.
Yep. Shout out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think, make it enjoyable, and then you can definitely make some content out of it if you're just out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Or at least just something to add, because I don't have any like updated content on like the TikTok and shit. So.
Yeah. It's
like casual shit. And that seems to, I've seen other people like that just blow up off of kind of bullshit pieces like that, but people like, they love that kind of shit, so might as well. Also, and then that could attract also buyers.
Well, there's the attract buyers. Of course, they're gonna attract buyers, right? Oh, I need that one, even if it's like a nondescript title. And you're like, oh no, I need that one. Sure, why not? It's not gonna cost you anything. But I think it would be a good last hurrah for your comics. You go like, let's have this moment. I bought this at my favorite comic book store that doesn't exist anymore. Blah blah blah. I bought this over here. I think it'd be a good trip down memory lane.
I'm with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I didn't buy a lot of shit over the weekend, man, and thought about it, but no, that was because of these conversations we've been having, all of that. I went directly for that one thing, left with that one thing.
I think you can.
And it was Batman Day, apparently, of Crazy Days. It was like I went out on Free Comic Book Day. This past Saturday was DC Comics. For those unfamiliar, have started doing special days, for their characters. So it was Batman Day for this year, and I did leave with 2 things besides this, but it was free copies of the Batman Day comic book. So. If you missed out, I have Batman Day. You can pick it up for me.
I think you can still buy stuff
because those both went straight into a long box.
Because you can buy stuff. I don't think it's the problem of you buying it, because it's an investment, right? But it's a matter of like, let's sell some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Let's make some room.
But I seriously contemplated that Shang-Chi cup. So I saw that Shang-Chi cup, which you saw me take a picture of.
And I can't wait to sell it in 10 years.
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. Because what bothered me, it was priced for $15. I can see that's decent, you know what I'm saying? But it was from a series of 7-Eleven cups. If you go to 7-Eleven, the Slurpee cups, it was one of those, cups that you could get unique for the time, and a lot of collectors look for that. I don't know if is $15 worth it, or is it overpriced? I think it's decent enough of a price, but I know there was a market for it. I contemplated it, but it was like, where am I going to put that shit? Again, there's no place for it. It's just going to go into a fucking cupboard or something.
Plus, it's a 7-Eleven cup. Exactly. It's a plastic 7-Eleven cup.
Yeah. Come
on. What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are you going to start doing? Collecting straws and disposable spoons and.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. Little Loy, Angel, Patrick. Don't.
And then in 20 years, you're gonna send me a text, be like, "Hey, you remember that Shang-Chi 7-Eleven cup?
It's worth like $1 million, bitch. I could have picked that shit up, but you influenced me not to do it.
$1 million,
fucker.
It was as a misprint. It was off-centered. It's not even him. It's his dad. They didn't know.
Oh yeah, on the back of it has like a little origin story that you didn't see. They had the artwork on the front, but on the back it had like little bio origins, and it's pre now because it's all an updated origin now. So it had the old Fu Manchu origin on the back, which I was like, because it's an updated origin. But I didn't
misprint,
right? But yeah, man, that's my Marvel story for the weekend, man. But
dope.
mind, bro.
So did you hear the news coming out of your motherland? No? Okay, so there's two stories. Manny Pacquiao has officially retired.
Yes, I heard that. I think I know what the other part of that is.
Concordantly, he's running for president.
He's running for
What?
VP, I think. Not president, but VP. Vice
Oh, is that
president.
what it was? I thought it was president.
I don't know if it was president because whatchamacallit, what Duarte, he's trying to, put his family in certain positions. So VP is considered, it's still right there with the people, and it has as much power, but they're so fucking corrupt, man. And I don't know, man. I've been let down by Pacquiao and his feelings and standings on things.
Okay, hold on. Before we go there, we're gonna go there. Just it does say nothing that I see says president. All the thing or vice president,
congressman, right?
Senator.
He's a senator. Okay,
he's a senator, sir. Please come correct.
Yeah.
It does look like it is president, not vice president.
Okay.
Which then makes me not want to watch any of his old fights because I feel like that's just detrimental to the job. It's like,
yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. I've fallen off the Pacquiao bandwagon. I still have all my gear and shit. I have Pacquiao. You know what? I think I could probably let that go now. I got some Pacquiao merch, and I know of a Funko Pop that's worth crazy amount of dollars. Because you can't find it here in America, and so because of that, all the Pacquiao stands raised up the prices on that, and fuck it, Funko Pacquiao can go.
Yeah, I mean his stances are. Yeah. A lot of the stuff's like antiquated, and the more older people that I talk to, the more in line his comments make to be, where it's just like, I'm not justifying it. It's just like, yeah. He's Catholic. He's a devout Catholic now.
Yeah.
He's old school. He's been punched in the head way too many times. That seems to be very on brand. Yeah. And I am just at that age where I just compartmentalize a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, yeah, I don't care about his political standing because I don't live there.
Yeah.
Yet.
You seriously thought about moving there?
I think it depends. Depends on our financial status in about 10, 15 years. Okay. Because if we don't have enough to live comfortably after 65, there's no point in waiting. We might as well just retire and figure something out while we still have like health to carry us while we're there. I don't know. Buy a little dance club out there, a little bar.
Yeah.
Just fucking sit into the sunset, especially if we don't have any kids by that time.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. The memories I have of because Pacquiao brought people together. He brought our people together. All the times, there's a Pacquiao fight, everyone got together. I'll forever treasure those memories, those times, those experiences. But like, I don't need the merch anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think. I mean, I was thinking about this when we were talking about Clint Eastwood and some of our reviews, and it's just like you get to the point where, what was that saying? Live long enough and to be the villain. You just like,
exactly. Yeah. And I don't feel like I feel like when people come to my house and they see it, I'm celebrating that person. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that you obviously see who I'm celebrating because I'm a huge fan of it, and we can talk for hours on that. But like with the Pacquiao stuff, like, you see my Pacquiao stuff is right where all my Niners stuff is.
Yep.
I'm a Niner fan all day, every day. Got the balls, the helmets, everything autographed and shit like that. Holding on to that. But like the Pacquiao stuff, that can go.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and some other players. I've got a ball. Were you ever a fan of the Celtics, Mr. Boston?
Ever? Yeah, sir. Yes. Who you got?
I have a complete autograph by, I forgot what year. I know D Brown is on it.
Okay. 87.
But it has, it's signed by the entire team. The entire team for whatever year that was. Boston Celtics. We can talk
let's
on
talk.
that.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. But
Yeah.
I do want to make the first purchase from you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put like a fresh, crisp $1 bill, so you can frame it and then put it up somewhere where you're like,
Yeah.
this is where it started.
There we go. I feel that. Yeah, man. There's just certain stuff can just go. The nostalgia factor is gone, or just it'll still be there. It's in the head. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to actually possess it anymore. For certain,
I think I think it's weird to think that like he is statistically one of the greatest boxers of all time, 8 weight class champion, multiple time over. He brought excitement to boxing when it was waning.
Yeah.
He brought excitement to the 140, 150 boxing range, which especially coming off the time where, heavyweights is the American champ.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot. What I thought was funny, and I've said it a dozen times before, and I'll say it again, that you have one of the greatest boxers from the Philippines, from nowhere, from nothing, and yet Filipinos really aren't into boxing. They're into boxing to watch it as an event, as a thing. But when I was there, I was on his island.
Yeah.
There was no kids running, no kids shadow boxing. They were just all playing basketball. And I thought it was very, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Although we've got some, there's some other boxers. We've been killing it as in boxing. There's different, not forever killing it. Pacquiao was our biggest. We have a couple newcomers, but then earlier on, there was forgot some of those boxers.
Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire.
Yes.
Which his wife is his trainer on paper, and she is the first Filipino head coach to win a championship in boxing. So,
but when the whole thing came out with his views and just even deeper, which to me, like I should have known. I realized it. I just didn't think on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we knew what his values were, but we just didn't think about it, or we thought more of it, or at least certain noise did, myself included. And now it's just a bad taste in my mouth now. Like
so. Yes, and let me be very clear. I am not defending him.
I know you're not.
It wasn't a surprise to me because going to the Philippines, I love the people, but the values on paper are antiquated. And as a politician, it doesn't matter what I think. I don't live there. I don't vote there. He's speaking to the people that vote, that can vote, so in a third world country, not everybody can vote or is willing to vote. So it's just like every politics. Politics season. You sit there like what you said was pretty fucked up, but
what? So that's something I wanted. I just thought of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But that brings me to one of your heroes, Tom Brady.
Well,
How does that make you feel about Tom? So obviously how that makes me feel about Pacquiao, and I've obviously changed my tune on him. I respect Tom Brady as an athlete. I actually had a conversation with another the same football conversation I had earlier that was funny with another football fan in my office today. There was a chance that Tom Brady, before he went to the Bucs, could have came to the Niners, and that's the discussion we were having.
Okay,
we were talking about Rodgers too, because both Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady were huge 49ers fans growing up. They wanted to play for the team. Mm-hmm. We passed on Aaron, which I never knew at that time, but then later on, I'm like, fuck, I would have loved Aaron Rodgers to be on San Fran. You know what I'm saying? And I would have loved to have Tom Brady because they're both phenomenal athletes. They're both amazing football players. You cannot take that away from them. I don't know Aaron Rodgers' politics, but we all know Brady's politics.
So I guess like we're talking about his relationship with Trump. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did that ever sour you? I'm just curious your feelings in regards to that.
So I'm a knucklehead when it comes to politics. I'll start that right off the bat. Like I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and I just don't know who. I need a Pachenko game where it's like I like this, I like that, I like this, and just go. That's your guy.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. I would have to say. I have a saying where it's like, I want to make enough money to wear the color of the president's tie, the color of the president's tie affects my bottom line. I don't make that kind of money. So I don't know. Were they friends beforehand? I don't know. I'm assuming he makes enough money to where, like, of course you're going to be a Republican. You're making millions and millions of dollars every year. It just plays the politics. Are they friends beforehand? I don't know. But if they're friends beforehand, then fuck yeah, I expect you to support your friend. But it's too much to know. All I do know is I'm not looking at celebrities, rappers, singers, actors for their political views.
Yeah. I feel that.
Like, when a news channel, when breaking news and they cut to Ja Rule. Like, I don't care what Ja Rule thinks about whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't care what Tom Brady thinks
just like
about.
this whole shit with Nicki Minaj and shit. Like,
oh yeah,
COVID denier right now. Like, come on, Nicki. Like,
great. I don't care. I'm not going to Nicki Minaj for fucking breaking news or medical advice.
But some people are, and it's fucking, come on.
I get it, but I am not those people. Does she make great music? I don't like any of her music. I'll watch her music videos, but I'm not there for the music.
Yeah.
Did it sour me on Tom Brady? A little bit. I mean,
yeah.
He's I don't think he was ever the kid from nowhere, the Midwest. He's from California. Of course, that's his politics. From my understanding, his family is well off before him. So doesn't make me surprised.
This is something I think we should do on another episode, because I like this conversation, like, where I don't exactly like it. It's like sour apples. Like, it hurts. It hurts, but it also, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like with Pacquiao, like, I had great memories, but then it kind of fell off. Brady, it's funny. Like, I love him as an athlete. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the person that we know, the person that I know because of Trump, like, I'm sure he's probably a dick and an asshole, but like, that motherfucker is a badass athlete.
You kind of have to
so
be.
So like, problematic people that people hate now and love and have hard feelings on. Like, Brady's one of them for me. Like, I love him as an athlete. Person, probably can't hang with him.
Yeah. Well, I think
R. Kelly.
Well, I think that's different.
I love R. Kelly's music.
Right.
But he's problematic as fuck.
I
Michael
think
Jackson, that's been proven now. And
I think the
problem, the person, probably a shitty person.
I think the problem is when you are the best, you just don't roll out of bed
Michael Jordan.
The best. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird.
Love Michael Jordan, but apparently he's an asshole.
Yeah, no, he's definitely an asshole. You can't just be great.
Yeah.
By accident.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. I'm waiting for
when he did the whole allegations happen, with the cheating and everything like that. That really soured me on Kobe, man. To be honest with you, he made amends and he changed up, I guess, his life and everything like that. And now, rest in peace to him and his daughter. But like, it was never the same for me after Kobe. Those allegations with Kobe.
I think to get to greatness, or even to be on the path of greatness, there is just a demeanor. There's a sociopathic, is that the right word? Yeah. Where you're just like, I have to get better. I always have to get better. And that's not the person you want to hang out with. Michael Jordan, don't want to hang out with him. Larry Bird, I love him to death. Wouldn't hang out with him. Pacquiao, same thing. I'm sure to be the greatest, you can't just be.
Oh, another one that hurt me, because I met him in person. I fell to pieces when he first made his announcement known about his diagnosis. Magic Johnson, Irvin Johnson. I thought my man was going to die, because at that time we didn't know enough about AIDS and HIV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a weird time.
I idolized him. He was my basketball god.
Mm-hmm. Being Filipino, that's saying a lot.
Crushed me, right? Later on in life, when I got out the military, he did a thing with Howard University. I got to be a photographer for one of the events that they did with the former mayor, Anthony Williams, Magic Johnson, Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft. We were all in the green room, and I was doing photography with them and sitting in the green room with the only other person there besides them and the couple handlers, right? Wrapped with Anthony Williams, amazing mayor, Richard Roundtree, amazing. But fucking Magic Johnson, he was the one I was super looking forward to because again, he was my god. Rapped with him a little bit, but this fucker, right, was more into some of these little young things, that were out there and here. His brother's happily married, but then they're just like, I'm like, Cookie, what about, because, I knew all about this man. I love this man. Fucking Cookie, man, you need to be home with Cookie, your girl.
Well, I mean, also you also have AIDS.
And it was trying to like flirt with the little young things. Wasn't listening to a word I said, man.
Yeah.
And it crushed me, man. Because I actually poured my heart into him. Like, dude, like, I looked up to you, you know what I'm saying? All that. Not that I needed that, because I know how it is. I've dealt with a lot of people in the green room and all that. And I know how to control myself. And I'm sure he's heard it 1,000,001 times. But just like the attitude that was just uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? You get a vibe with people. You and I both, we've worked on different productions. There's a vibe you get. I got the asshole vibe out the gate with fucking my idol, dude. And
you know what they say?
Make any sense, man?
Never meet your heroes.
Exactly. And that was clearly illustrated at that moment. But that broke my heart, though.
Yeah. I think for the longest time, I just, let's say I saw Magic Johnson. Hey, what's going on? And keep it moving. Like at that point, like I'm not here for friends. I like you not because we're friends. I like you because of what you did and all of those things. And I do my best to keep it compartmentalized.
Yeah. And that's what I do with Michael Jackson. I still listen to his music. R. Kelly, although my wife hates it, saying she cannot listen to R. Kelly anymore. Michael Jackson gets a pass. She detests Tom Brady. To me, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
It really comes down. Like I think that like all of
Hulk Hogan, come on. I grew up on the 80s WWF,
but obviously, I mean, he comes from an era where they had a manservant named Virgil, like the one of 3 black guys in the WWF. One was a manservant, one was a junkyard dog, and the other one was a flamboyant disco persona with a parrot. Like they weren't there for diversity.
It's so problematic, man, looking at old times and
it's
changes.
And I think that's kind of what makes our medium so good is like, we've been recording for 3 hours now, 1 hour for here and then 2 hours for the review. And this is a normal thing. There's enough content out where it's going to be very difficult for us to pretend to be something that we're not over 3 hours a week, however long. And then I've got my own podcast and then all the other content that we create. It's not like, okay, lights, camera, action, go. And then, hey guys, how are you? And cut.
You got to keep it real. You got to keep it real, man.
And I was thinking about this in general. It's like superstars, actors of, let's say, the early 90s. A lot of them aren't on social media. Like Leonardo DiCaprio does not have an Instagram. And if he does, it's like, why? Because that was the era in which that he became famous. It was like, there is a mystique. There is a level between levels between us and them, where now, like the Kardashians, they record every minute of every day and we have access to that. It just makes it different.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You sad?
Nah. It's a weird state now. I don't know how we got here, but it's a weird way we ended up here. But I kind of want to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. I know you have to go, and then I actually have to record another podcast at 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock right now, so I have an hour gap until that starts. And I know you have your breakdown because you got to record your other stuff, man.
Yeah. So what I think that you need to shift your mind into is all of the Pacquiao merchandise had a moment in time, and now it's going to have a place in your wallet.
Exactly. I hope I didn't fuck up your feelings on Brady. But like, we got into this whole problematic people conversation, and it's like, I feel I'm saddened by how our former heroes have let us down.
I think,
or at least that's what I'm thinking of right now.
I do my best to not talk about politics, about religion, and about personal finances. And the reason, I mean, there's a reason why when you go vote, there's a thing, you slide it and you do the thing. And then I'm a strong believer of that. I'm a strong believer of like you talking about politics, religion, or personal finances. Nobody's going to win this conversation. And it's not worth it, because if I like you on so many different levels, why would I let who you voted for cloud our interaction? That's me.
No, I hear you on that regards to that. I don't mind putting it out there to a degree. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not digging into this and between you and I. No. I mean, just I was just curious of your perception, how like I have my perception in regards to Pacquiao. If your perception was the same in regards to Brady, if that tainted you in a way, because I'm sure, because it all comes across our minds, and I've now like, this is me now. Like, if y'all love it, cool. If not, if you feel it, cool. If not, it's all good. Have your own feelings. I was just I was curious about your perception, because that's how I feel about Pacquiao.
My relationship with Pacquiao, I don't think will ever change. It's something that I'm going to turn on my TV and see. Having the conversation about what his politics are is nonsensical, because I'm not strong enough in my own understanding of how politics works to have that conversation. But it's just like, I'm entitled to mine. He's entitled to his. I just don't think we're ever going to have that conversation. So I never think about it. With Tom Brady, I've called him several times. He's not calling me back. And we're not talking about politics, that's for sure. So again, the more you get to know me, you'll know like I don't understand politics as like a thing. I understand the politics as a machine. Like how like
I kind of already felt that was what your answer was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because I've kind of like, from I think I have a gauge of your how you conduct yourself and carry yourself with everything. But because that's just my issues. I think I'm such an empath in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? That when my heroes become problematic, it affects me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind to have that conversation, because I'm sure there's others that feel that way and don't know and want to express it. You don't exactly express it in a way, because that's how, that's just you. And here's that, night and day between the two of us, for those that are watching this can see in regards to us, and give and I don't mind it.
I think I approach everything with like just a raging indifference, right? And then so it allows me to go, oh, I think I don't want to say funny, but like, oh, it'd be funny if I took this side, or this side seems more interesting. So I just have a general indifference to a lot of things, which allows me to come up with some, I don't want to say outlandish, but some funny things. I guess the question to you is like, what happens somewhere down the line? A kid comes up to you and goes, "Hey, Kuya P, fucking fan. Everything you do is fucking amazing. But because you believe XYZ, like I just can't fuck with you anymore." How would that, like, how would that affect you?
I would be legitimately saddened, but at the same time, I am who I am now, and I accept who I am. Love it or hate it, it's who I am. I respect that. That's what if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. Just like you should respect me and my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So if that's how you feel, then peace be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Follow how it goes.
Upward and onward. You know what I'm saying?
Very
it's not
good.
Gonna affect me, and obviously how I feel is, that's how you feel. It is what it is. I can't change that, and I can't change myself.
And I think that's kind of how I generally like Tom Brady. That's him. And like I said, I just don't think I would ever be in a situation where his politics matters to my life.
I can only control what I can control. That, and just like they control their feelings, and if that's how you feel, then good on you that you're controlling you. We
might be in a simulation. I can barely prove that I exist.
That's what I'd be saying to that young kid. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, do you? But before we leave out, man, because I'm sure those that are watching us and checking us out, we said we were going to do the Holy Mountain. We're on track on that.
Did you start watching
it? I haven't started it yet, but I know you're going to do it in installments. I still plan to do that. So look for that, I guess, 2 or 3 episodes down the line, right?
Sure.
So we can make that all the way through.
I'm like 10 minutes in.
Infernal Affairs will be our next episode.
I'm 10 minutes in. The Holy Mountain. Okay.
But we promised, I think everybody was expecting with the last episode that Infernal Affairs would be our next one because we were going to push out Holy Mountain to a degree. So if y'all are checking, Infernal Affairs will be the next episode. I will watch it prior to our next taping. But so if you were expecting Infernal Affairs this episode, because our favorite fan, who is part of our crew, Rob, because Rob chimes me in messaging because again he's watching it, and I think he chimed you too, like loving our episodes. And he was like, so Infernal Affairs, right? I'm like, that fucker is really watching our shit. So props to you, Rob. I appreciate you, bro. I love you, man.
He makes he sends me these most sentimental sayings.
He's such a good dude, man.
It's hard to wake up and go like, I fucking love you guys, man. Like, I love you too. Start my day, I'm crying.
So for Rob, Infernal Affairs will be next episode, and everybody else that's watching it too. I just wanted to put that in there because for those fans that are watching it, they're holding us to it. Rob is holding us to it. Yeah.
And I watched it, but it's like a movie I watch like every couple months.
You know that film. You know that film. But I got to watch it one more time before we can talk on it.
I will say I do pick up a couple little things every time I watch a movie. Even when we watch Big Trouble in Little China, like you pick like, I get that joke now. Yeah. Like, even though I've seen it 50, 60 times. So I do enjoy rewatching it with the lens of like, we're going to talk about this. It's different.
Yeah. All right. So next episode, Infernal Affairs. Loy, how can they reach out to you, man? Let's get up out of here. You got
Loy
things
Lee
to do. I got things to do.
Loy Lee Comedy, LOYLEE Comedy across all your social media, everything. You can find me there. Fucking here. NRW. You know what?
Are you gonna have enough energy to record your stuff after this?
Yes. I'm gonna have to. And then I'm opening for Edwin San Juan tonight. So I got
How much
a long
time
day.
You got enough time?
Oh yeah. It's 5:00 now. I don't have to be on stage until 9. So
my brother. Love you, man.
And how do they find you?
The Legend Kuya P over on TikTok, and then hopefully that'll be on Twitter and IG. But until then, it'll be Strange Since 1977, as well as at Temple Far East. That's Twitter, IG. Nerds of Color on everything. Show Pow Show, that Filipinx content, and of course here with Kuya and the Kid, Loy Lee, Kuya P, at the NRW at Nerdless Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Love you, brother. Always.
Love
man.
you too.
Till
See you guys next time.
Bye. Deuces.
Always